Welcome to the Leeds View podcast, the second podcast of this week. Myself and Paul Brooker are going to have a bit of a deep dive into the Leeds United squad, have a look at who's there, who should stay, who needs to go, and who needs to go for a temporary break somewhere else to try and improve their squad is keep loan and sell time of the season. We are part of the Sports Social Podcasting Network. We do these on video and audio as well as daily Leeds United news. And if you want to get 15% off international shirts for the World Cup through OK Jersey, use the code JER15 in your checkout basket. If you want to buy the official Leeds United away kit this season, or goalkeeper shirts, you can use the links down below for our official Leeds United and Fanatics partnership. You can check all that out if you want it. Paul's here with me. It's the second one of the week. Paul, it's gone a bit quiet with Leeds, so we're going to do this, but how are you feeling about things?
I'm very, very good, thank you. I'm okay. Watched the England game last night, was very concerned with the defence in the first half, and then watched as quite clearly a rocket was thrown up their backsides at half-time, and they came out an absolutely reborn squad. Bellingham looked like the player that we all know that can be.
What a second half.
Yeah, Harry Kane is absolutely nuts.
That free header or not? The power.
Mm-hmm. Very, very, very good. And pleased for Rashford as well, coming on, getting his goal. It was just nice finish overall. But I'm good. I'm all right. Apparently, I've reverted back to being a 16-year-old teenager because I've got spots, which hasn't happened in years. So that's really, really good. It is a little bit, yeah. So I would like to point out that I am not a dirty human being. I do wash myself.
Yeah, I got blur yesterday. I'm like, what's that?
Cheek ones are really sore. I've got all of them.
It's usually from here.
Really,
from here.
Yeah. It's painful, but it's just like, I'm just like, I'll leave it alone and I won't do anything with it. And then it gets to like, there's like 11 o'clock at night and I'm just like, I'm have a go at you.
No, don't.
And then you wake up in the morning and go, I should have done that. I feel bad. But other than that, yeah, no, I'm good, mate. I'm really good, thank you. Yourself? You all right?
Yeah, good. High pitched to make sure everyone believes me. Yeah, no, I am. I'm good. Quite weak in terms of the Leeds stuff, but I reckon I'm saying on the news today, I reckon July 1st is when everything starts to kick into gear properly once the PSR window's out of the way. But yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. There's I was doing the watch along for the England game last night, and I brought up the fact that Marcus Rashford apparently will leave Manchester United this summer for about 26 million quid. And you look at his numbers over the last couple of seasons when he, in inverted commas, hasn't been great. Still really good output in terms of numbers. And I was like, I know his background, I know where he's from, I know the connection, I know all that stuff, but would you take it? Would you risk to have a gamble 26 million quid for a player like Rashford? Still a good age.
Yep.
Would you go for him? And then
it's not even up for discussion.
I would say, yeah. And then
I would.
One of the lads on the watch along, Rajiv, last night points out, it's on 350 grand a week, Jerry. I was like, right, that's the end of that dream, then that's gone. Now, I know he's also on the same side of the pitch. There's no Okafor. We don't necessarily need it. But you look at a player like that and you think, why not have a chat about it?
I would. No, I'd agree with it. He's had a season at Barcelona, so as far as I'm concerned, that little.
What is a break?
Yeah, there's a break in it, so I can deal with it a little bit better on that one. So
someone said to me he's from Stratford. So that's it. Like he's hard line. He wouldn't want it either. Not that it's even up for discussion. It's not a link. I'm not saying it's a link. I'm just, you see something pop up, you go, it's an interesting one. I wouldn't, explore that one. Anyway, but that's solved. The World Cup's been decent.
Yeah.
I have to say something. And I mentioned it in the watch along as well. The decision by the referee not to award Kylian Mbappe a penalty was phenomenal for me. And there was a line that he used I nearly celebrate, which I would never do for referees. And when the VAR review happened, he walked onto the pitch and he pressed the button and he went, the attacker initiated the contact, therefore no penalty, goal kick.
Love it.
That line is so much. You think about how many players in the Premier League run to the box and throw their leg out and make contact with a player. If you bring that in where the attacker initiates the contact, wipes out that completely.
Oh, it does. But I mean, see, my other thing with this is I've seen over the last few days how VAR can actually work properly.
Yeah.
I think the implementation of it throughout this World Cup so far has been very, very good. Instant decisions, instant bits and pieces. I like the turnover for the yellow card that happened.
Corner as well.
With the corner, which took less than 30 seconds for it to happen. So it just goes to show that as much as, and listen, everybody knows my feelings on VAR. I've talked about it enough. We've talked about it enough. But when it is actually implemented correctly, it's a completely different beast.
And that is the problem. Because I have zero faith that the Premier League will have the ability to implement the rules the way they're being implemented here. We've seen players run off the pitch quickly. We've seen zero holding in the penalty area for corners and free kicks, which has been a great thing to see. We've seen corner kick decisions be overturned rapidly, like before the keepers even put the ball down. Corner. If you could do that, and I don't understand why VAR can do it at international level, but you look at the Premier League and you go, why are you so incapable of reviewing these decisions? And apparently, the reason why some corners are being overturned and others aren't is if they can't decide within 5 or 10 seconds, then it stays with the decision on the pitch. You're like, that's clear and obvious there. And we should be bringing that into the Premier League. Got 30 seconds to review it. Can't make up your mind. Stays on field. Fine.
Clear and obvious is the correct word. If it's not clear and obvious and you can't make a decision within a certain time frame,
but if
clear and obvious.
The biggest one, and I'm going to go back to it again. I'm going to celebrate your point. Is if they bring in that wording, that the attacker initiates the contact. It wipes out so many penalty decisions in the Premier League. It removes diving in the penalty area, because if you're going to launch your leg into someone, well, you kicked me and went down. Up till this point, it's always been said, well, there was contact. Well, yeah, but who initiated it? And that's the line for me. So if they can bring that in, I'm all for that, because that will help the game get better in all decisions. You know, but
100%. I agree. That's what's been nice to see, and I've been enjoying a couple of the shocks, a couple of the teams that they thought were going to just roll over and get their bellies tickled. DR Congo getting the draw against Portugal. I mean,
world's most insecure footballer being upset again, trying to nick goals off people.
Yeah, I know, but just
all that money, all that success, all those followers, and still an immature, insecure child.
And yeah, that's the least said about that, the better, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Let's talk about Leeds and let's talk about this squad, because we're talking about the transfer window an awful lot. It's gone quiet. It's likely, as we say, not to kick in until the 1st of July. But we do have our annual. Let's talk about what we would do if we were in charge. That none of this will happen, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Keep loan and sell, and get involved in the comments as well if you want to. Feel free to disagree. Feel free to give your reasonings for things as well. Well, you know, everyone's entitled to an opinion. I like a bit of logical reasoning behind stuff as well. So we'll start off, Paul. We'll rapid fire into this, because the squad, when you put all the loanies back in and add a couple of the under-21s that have been around the fringes to it, is a big enough looking squad, considering once the season kicks off and everyone's gone to their right spots, is a pretty threadbare, thin squad. So there's a lot of fat to be cut, and then quality to be added. We'll talk about the addition stuff maybe towards the end if we've got time. With the goalkeeper situation, we know Elamelier has left the club so far. That's one out the door. No money in there, but big wages off the budget.
Yep.
Carl Darrow's been offered a new contract. Lucas Perry's under contract. Alex Cairns has been offered a new contract. And then you've got 2 21 goalkeepers in Rory Mahady, who was out on loan with Scunthorpe United last year. Started well for them, lost his place then and was on the bench for the remainder of the season, but was still playing for the Leeds United under 21s as part of his youth loan. And Daryl Onbein, who went to FC United Manchester last season on loan, I thought at that point that was to try and get him a club like they've done with Conor Douglas and a few others. But he's signed a new deal with the club, so he's sticking about. So they're your goalkeepers. So starting with Lucas Perry, who is the number 1 shirt.
Yep.
Are we talking keep, loan, or selling one? And some of these, by the way, we can just fly through. Other ones that we want to talk about in more detail, we can get into.
Okay, so Perry. Right, I'm trying to do this quickly.
Yeah.
If I'm being brutal, sell.
Yeah.
Why? I don't think it's worked out for him. I don't think he's settled. I think he's finding it difficult. I think he's struggled. That would be my main reasoning for that.
I think if you can get the money, I would agree. I would sell.
Market value of 10 million.
Yeah. I don't, however, have a problem with him staying if he was to stay. And if he's, again, I think if we get the goalkeeper that he was in France, brilliant. But I think the passing out from the back is going to continue to be a problem, because they knew about that when they bought him in the first place. So that remains. Carl Darlow.
Keep.
Yeah, I'm saying pretty black and white one there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's more than earned it, particularly over the last 2 seasons.
I think he should start the season as number 1.
100% agree with you.
Yeah. Alex Kearns.
Keep. I think he's worth having around the squad. He's good for a homegrown player. I think just the way that he's viewed around the squad, he's seen as a senior player, isn't he? So he's good to have around.
Seems to be very well respected in the dressing room. Players talk very highly of him. Again, ticking that box of homegrown player as well. Yeah, absolutely. Right, the 2 ones that are 21 ones that are knocking on the door. Rory Mahady. Good young goalkeeper, very good with his feet. He has moments where he can get himself into trouble playing out from the back sometimes, but then, that's the trade-off. You said loan.
Yeah, I'd loan him.
Where do you want to see him go?
He could go back to Scunthorpe again, or there might be an option for him to go to potentially a League One club. That's where I'd like to see him maybe go and just start to build it up a little bit. There is, like you said, there is a good keeper in there.
There is.
He's
very young.
Yeah, he's very, very young. He's got a bit to learn, and there's nothing like playing amongst really rough guys to learn a trade and keep yourself going. So yeah, I'd loan him out.
Yeah, I think he'll have learned a lot from Scunthorpe last year. I'll definitely have him. Darrell Longbank. Interesting one. Now he's an interesting one because he's aging out doing 21 system after this year. So
he's just signed a new deal, like you said. So for me, I'd probably look at him being the number 1 for the under-21s moving forwards for this season, with a view to starting to maybe potentially blood him into the senior squad. If they're not looking to do that, then the new deal is probably in and around them protecting themselves to make sure they can get some money for him should he need to be sold.
I think it might be protecting a position as well. I think you're looking at Mahady going out on loan. You've got Robbie Cook in the 18s coming up through. There's a couple of other young, decent keepers there as well. But I think there's a gap. I think On-Bang will help the side next year. I think that's the decision there. And seeing if he continues to develop, because he did have a decent season last season at LUFC Manchester. So
yeah, he did.
United Manchester. Doesn't matter either way. Not important. Anyway, let's get into the defenders. Pascal Stroke just got married. Congratulations to him.
Yeah.
Him and his lovely wife. We believe Leeds want to keep him. What do we do, Paul? What does your head say? What does your heart say?
Heart says keep him. Head says, from a business perspective, sell, because he represents a phenomenal return for us in terms of what we can use to put into the squad. In terms of highest ticket rating players that we have, he is very, very much there. He's rated on transfer market at 22 million. Euros, by the way. That would maybe stretch to about 25 if there was a bit of a bidding war to go with it as well. We know that he nearly left in the summer last season, but it didn't materialise.
Farke wanted to stay.
Yeah, he did. For me, I think he'd go with my blessing. He would absolutely go with my blessing. He's been at Leeds for a long time.
He's the last one of the Bielsa squad.
Yeah, which should be kind of closing the door on that book, wouldn't it? But I would want him to stay, but I would completely understand if they sold him.
Yeah, the conversion rate, by the way, 25 million euros, about 23 million pounds. If you could get 25 million pounds for him, and you could bring in another player of similar quality for less than that and bank some of that cash, I could understand it. If you can't do that, then I think you keep him and try and give him what he wants for another contract. The question will be, does he want to stay? And that will hang out. But I would say keep, because I think a left-footed centre-back is a commodity right now. And I think he's got 1 year left on his deal, and going off Leeds logic of signing players, that means a discount. So I don't know if you can get him on a short-term deal and then maybe look at that, but I don't know. But I would keep Pascal Stroke for now. I wouldn't. Just
to point out as well, somebody said in the comments on one of my videos that I did with regards to Diogo, the pronunciation of his surname is Latte.
Latte.
Yeah.
I ran it through 2 different pronouncing algorithms, and they both said Lynch.
Yeah, so the guy who said that to me, he said, I lived in Portugal for 15 years, is pronounced as Latte.
Latte.
He did say that the way that you pronounced it was hilarious.
Yeah, I couldn't pronounce it correctly. I kept saying Leach, but that was what it was telling me. It was phonetically broken down, and I was like, it wasn't Latte.
And just for those that might not be aware, the reason why we're talking about him is because he's a left-footed centre-back who would be a very, very good, solid replacement for Strauch, should Strauch leave. He'd also offer backup to the left-back role as well.
I hate this time of the year trying to pronounce names like that. So do I. He's like, well, he's in Portugal. So is it a Portuguese pronunciation? Is it a Spanish pronunciation? Is it, anyway. Yeah, I like to look at him as well. He's a good ball playing centre back as well. So, yeah, I think we need to look at that. Yacobiol.
Yep. Keep. It's not even up for discussion. That's stamped, rubber stamped. Sign him to a 10-year deal now, as far as I'm concerned. He's my favourite defender at the club.
My favourite players of the club. One of the players I build that squad around.
Yeah.
Joe Rodon.
Keep.
Yep.
Simple.
Anyone who suggests that Joe Rodon is a sellable asset or we can do better than Joe Rodon ignores the fact that we don't talk enough about Joe Rodon because he just does his job really, really well.
Yeah.
Fantastic player.
It's the easy one, that.
Sebastian Borneo. And this is interesting as well because this comes back to the player's desire as well. He did talk in the summer about maybe wanting to try and get back into the Belgium squad. That didn't happen. He could move. The FC Clon are interested in it as well. One of his former clubs. If you get more than £5 million for him, he'd represent a profit. I thought he was very serviceable for Leeds as a player last year. I didn't have any issues with him when he played at all. I think good squad player.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I really liked what I saw from him at the back end of the season. I feel like he was very dependable when he came in. I also like the fact that he just got on with it. So no complaining, no stamping of the feet. He knew what his role was. I think he was told before he came what his role was as well. But his value or his book value has increased slightly because he has had some games in the Premier League and he's not looked out of place. Yeah. So if we were to sell him, I think we would probably turn a small profit on him. But for me, for a backup and reliability, have you seen him when he puts his arms?
Oh, he's a monster. He's a monster. Yeah, he's huge.
Huge. He's absolutely huge. I would keep him as a backup. If that's obviously assuming that he's happy in that role. I would keep him as a backup because I thought he's been brilliant.
Yeah, Jerry described him as having a monster of a wingspan.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, I would say the same. I would keep him if you can, unless you can make a profit on him. And again, to the right side of the centre back, you got plenty to cover there. If there is an opportunity to make some money on it, why not? But I do appreciate what he's done for us. Gabby Goodmunson, Thomas Brolin, he's been brilliant.
He has. He's been, for me, in terms of, for a player that comes into the squad and just settles down, gets on with it, he has been brilliant. He's been absolutely brilliant.
My expectation,
I think his value is near
next year.
Yeah. Put him?
My expectation around him goes up next year.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. But I don't think there's any reason why he can't match that expectation. I think his value since he's been with us has probably doubled in terms of where he is and what he does. But for a left back, his engine, the skill that he has, the pace that he has, you can tell when he's not in the squad, which is a very, very good indicator for the type of player that he is. So for me, that's a keep.
Yeah.
Not even discussion.
Yeah, good defender as well. Sam Byram got a new deal, so don't need to decide on this one. Well, he's been offered a new deal, I should say. Sorry, hasn't been confirmed he signed it yet, but been offered a new deal.
Okay.
Looking for the political response.
Yeah.
Can hear the brain.
Yeah. I think that it ended nicely for him last season. I think I know what he wants, which is, he said it on the podcast, he wants to play more football.
Yeah.
You let him go. And open up the space for somebody else.
Yeah. Now, the contract offers isn't always a thing where Leeds is saying, we want you as part of the squad next season. The contract offer, depending on the size and what the detail of it is a case of, well, there's a deal there if you want to stay, but if you can get better, yeah, fine. And he did say that. I understand what Sam brings behind the scenes. You've heard of Rafinha comment on Liam Cooper when he was at the club about making him feel settled in Yorkshire and getting to know Leeds as an area. And Sam brings that to the club as well. Go for the young players coming in as well because he's done that. Again, there's that first-hand experience. But again, I would understand it. Jane Bogle.
Keep.
Yeah. James Justin.
Keep.
Yep. Now, Jayden Leniu. So, 18. Is going to go off to the Under-19s European Championships this summer with Wales. Has been knocked in on the door of the Welsh first team. Had a very good year for the Leeds United on 21s and made the bench against West Ham for Leeds.
I think a lot depends, or a lot of my decision on this depends on pre-season and what he is asked to do in pre-season. If he is brought in to play in pre-season, i.e. to just as an option for a left-back option, then it's an easy keep, and you can say that he's been brought in now. He is the cover at left-back. That's what he's been brought in to do. Obviously, Bellamy loves him. Bellamy sent a lot of people to come and look at him. But for me, yeah, I'm going to keep my powder dry on that one because I want to see what happens in pre-season with him.
Yeah, I would keep him for another year around the club. He's still very young. He's only just joined the club last summer, so I think, you know, more embedding into the Leeds United culture, but he's been very, very good, and he's been a palm player for Scott Gardner's on 21s. Right, two pretty easy ones to talk about. Max Ferber.
So,
best of luck.
Yeah, thanks.
If you can get any money for him, take it. Doesn't matter at this stage. Isaac Schmidt.
So, one of the weirdest transfers for us. Makes no sense. As if we can get that to wipe its face this summer, then fine.
2.5.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah,
just
I would be saying.
let him go.
Yeah, in and out of the Bremen team, didn't really make an impact over there. Scored in his debut, nothing really much after that. So yeah, I would be the same. If you can recoup what you spent on him, good business. Right, into the midfield area, again, a few of these will be quick. Ethan Ampadu. Keep. Anton Stack. Keep. Okay. Ilya Gruev.
If the right offer comes in, sell.
I'm in the same boat. And I like him. And I understand what he does for Leeds. I understand why Daniel Farke likes him. I understand why Daniel Farke uses him. I'm not one of these people that says Ilya Gruev is less of a player than Ao Tanaka or Sean Longstaff. He's a different kind of player, in a different position, in a different profile. You have to judge him on his own merits. I think he's very good at what he does. I think when he was allowed to be more expansive last season, we saw he could do it. But I think if you can make profit on Ilya Gruev and bring in a other player, Shea Charles, as I mentioned, as a possible option there, depending on the finances, if that would work between the two of them, then I would do the same thing. He's got 1 year left on his contract, so if you're going to do it, this is the time to do it. Otherwise, you tie him down to a new contract.
Yeah, I'm not averse to him staying. I like what he did. I mean, the ball that he played through for Bogle last season for the over-the-top ball was disgusting. Yeah. He does have that in his locker, but for me, if we're looking at bringing in a Shea Charles, reports out that Southampton want 30 million for Charles. I mean, they're in dreamland with that, by the way.
Still thought it was too high.
You can't have both Gruev and Charles in the squad. So if you're going to put that outlay on for Charles, then yeah, it's Gruev that needs to go.
I don't see Charles coming unless somebody leaves. Doesn't make any sense to me. All right, another midfielder. We've got tons. So many midfielders. Charlie Crew, who was out on loan last season at Doncaster after having a successful loan the previous season. This one didn't work out too well, mostly because the manager seemed to have an issue integrating international level players into his squad, and basically said, well, he hasn't got going this season because he's been on international duty, which most managers would see as a positive.
Yeah.
Not him. And barely played and ended up coming back to Leeds at Christmas and got injured then, and unfortunately was out for a bit and then went into 21s.
Loan.
Yeah. You want League One loan, don't you?
So that again, sorry?
You want the League One level minimum.
Yeah, no, you do. Yeah, you want League One minimum for him. League One level loan where he's going to be guaranteed games.
It's an important year for Crew for development because he was developing, and then last year it just stops and he needs to kick on again. Not that it's his fault. I don't think it is his fault. It is.
No.
I kept scratching my head last year reading the comments from his manager going, you've got an international player. Be a good manager. Figure out a way of integrating it.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
Sean Longstaff. Interesting one. I would sell.
Really?
If you can get the money again. Yeah. If you can get more than you paid for him or in and around that. And if you're going to bring in another player, I think he's one of the midfielders you could look at and go. He had moments last season where he was really, really good. I think we've got similar players to him. I think we've got players. I think if you look at him and Tanaka, they can both go box to box. They can both sit in a little bit. Longstaff far more physical than Tanaka, but I think from the other end, they can both get you the goal or two from midfield as well. And I think if you were going to bring in another midfielder, it's Gruev or Longstaff, I think, are the two options for me. But again, not opposed to keeping him. And if he gets a full pre-season, there's Bell, because he did take some time to come back from that injury.
He did. You know, he did. But and I know people don't like the statistics But there was a period in the season once he started to get up to speed and started to play a little bit more, he was considered statistically one of the best in the squad.
Yeah. I just want to know whether we can get a full season out of him, because if the injury's taken that long to come back from,
Yeah.
but then that's the medical team's job. Look, I like Sean Longstaff. I like what he did when he came in, but I think for me, I'd like to see a more complete midfielder come into the squad, whether that's the sacrifice of Gruev or Longstaff, I don't know. But again, if he stayed, fine. Tanaka. Oh, this is your one.
It is. This is a
You
tough
took a
one
deep
because
breath there.
I did, because I
thought this would be cut and dry for you.
I'm just thinking now. In fact, actually, no, keep. I was close. The reason being is because I think he struggled with. I think he has. I think, and I could be completely wrong, but I think that he has a little bit of an issue with self-belief. He's got a little
Definitely.
bit of confidence.
Well, or he's a very modest person, which would be very in keeping with Japanese culture.
Yeah, he is. And when he's on it, I love him. I absolutely love him. So I think this season's massive for him. I think it's absolutely massive for him in terms of what happens. I think it's good that he's at the World Cup. But I do think this season's massive. So yeah, I'd keep him.
I would keep him, but again, I would go down a similar line with you. No more questioning yourself, and definitely not publicly. Like, you're there now, you've got a season under your belt, you've scored goals against good sides, you've had good performances against good teams in that league. You can hang. Start believing in yourself a little bit more. I love that you're self-critical, and I love that you're self-aware. There's not enough of that in the world. But you need to start believing in yourself a bit more and push on.
I agree.
If there's an issue there, fix it, and then get going again. Brendan Aronson's an interesting one as well, then, because he's got 1 year left on his contract, and he's an interesting age, Brendan. If you were giving him a 3 or 4 year deal, you're bringing him into probably his early 30s or late 20s, early 30 areas. So you're getting to that. Is it a 1 or 2 year contract after that, or do you sell at that point? And if you are looking at selling the player, he's had a good season under his belt in the Premier League. His value is probably the best it's been since we bought him. What do you do?
Keep.
Why?
I think what he can offer in the second half of a game is something that we will massively need, in terms of his ability to rat around and just to cause an absolute nuisance.
So
this is me going, what I would do from a if I was manager of Leeds United, which I know I'm nowhere near close to being, but just what he can bring to the table. We saw it a couple of times this season, coming on in the second half, just to help push defenders back. From a work rate point of view, he's brilliant.
Yeah, and ironically, his best period of the season came when the pitches got mucky and the weather got crap. Where most players are the opposite way around. They started the season well, they finished it well. He had his best period in the middle of it when it got scrappy.
Yeah, I did enjoy the fact that he wanted to have fights with everybody as well towards the end of the season, which was quite.
I like that. Something new to his ball as well. Good. I was glad with that as well. I agree with you. As a squad player, that's what I would view him as. I think that is a position that needs upgrading. I think if you're looking at Harry Wilson coming in or someone like that, then you are looking at upgrading that position.
Correct.
But I think he would have a huge amount to offer coming off the bench when teams are getting a bit tired and he can really get at them. So I would keep him. If he wants to play though, you're probably looking at selling. Because for me, that position needs upgrade. And that's not to say he's had a bad year. He's had a good year. But if Leeds are going to push on, there are certain positions within that park that need upgrading. I think we will be talking about the central midfield in a year or two anyway, saying that needs to get improved.
I absolutely agree with that. And this is the part and parcel of when you are a club that is looking to progress year upon year. And sometimes what has to happen with that is that you have to do things sometimes that you might not want to do, or that the fans might not like, or that you're just not 100% on, and that'll be one of those things.
Yeah, it's marginal gains in certain positions. Okay, no Okafor.
Keep.
Yeah,
up for discussion.
Wilfred Gnonto.
Sell.
And for why?
I think that it's time. I think it's time for him to go. I think that we can upgrade. That's his position is something that we can upgrade quite easily. He's down the pecking order. I think that much is quite obvious, and I think for his own growth as well. He needs football, so I think it's probably time.
Yeah, so a much more grown up William until last year. I liked what I saw. I enjoyed him when he came on. Thought he did an awful lot. Would have liked to seen him used more. I would have kept him. But I don't think he's going to get used more next season. And again, I think you're looking at, well, what's the best time to sell him? Please if you are going to sell him, put a healthy sell-on clause in the deal, because I still think he's got room to grow. I think he will.
So player.
Yeah, I like him. Well, I like him more now than I did a couple of years ago, but he's definitely grown up, which is understandable. He's like a kid when you threw his toys out of prom. Daniel James. So Daniel James. That's what's called. This has been away for
Keep.
Yeah,
because again, there's something that he offers. I think he's got more. He's not a starter. He's more of a squad player now. I think injuries have really, really curtailed him over the past couple of seasons, particularly last season. And just his pace, his all-round pace, I think is something that he can really rely on quite well. And if we're going to be looking at the similar sort of thing with Brendan Aronson and pace and quickness, do we need two players that are like that? And if we're going to get rid of Brendan Aronson, then it's Dan James that you want to just keep in there.
Yeah, I look at the Aston Villa game last year as an example of this, and there was a point, 65 minutes, right, for staying from the Brooker game. Take off the two wide men and bring on James and Nando, and just stretch them now. Just put the ball into the corner, and they're tired now. Run them. We didn't do it, but I think there is a merit to having it. Last 20 team. So the players that can come on for the last 25 minutes, even half an hour, and change the game or exploit tiredness from teams. So I'd like to say that. I like Dan James. Big fan of him. I think the fact that he is very much a side before self player, he epitomises what Leeds usually want from players. It's not sentimental FC. He had a bad season last year with injuries. If he's past them, if the body is holding, good. I think he's going to transition into a wing back as well. So I agree with that. Alfie Creswell, who is the central midfielder now. I had the bench a couple of times. Was in around the first team training last year. Was captain in 21s.
Yeah, I'd loan him to a championship side next season.
I think it's League One, but I would like to see it. I'd like to see a loan.
Yeah. I'd like to get him to get some consistent minutes under his belt.
He's a tidy player, Yeah, I'd like to see him.
Very, very good.
Reece Chadwick. Then Farke's a fan.
Yeah, he's a
10.
Big lad as well. Loan. I'd look to maybe loan him out as well.
Yeah, a bit of a few injuries last year as well. Started the year. Yeah, very strong finish to the season. G&A was very strong last year. He's 21. Maybe wasn't injured for much last year. A couple of Sam Chambers. 21 G&A last year. I think he had 22 the year before, which is really good. On 21s. Again, he's still young. Jack Harrison.
Fire out of a cannon.
Cannon's going to cost you money to bring it in.
Probably. We've got to sell him. If we can get a couple of million quid for him, just get him gone. I think he's going to end up back in America anyway, so just get him gone.
Yeah,
need him gone. Get his wages off the books.
Yeah.
It's one of them weird ones. You can't blame him. No. He didn't do his contract. His contract was done for him. Yeah. Thanks, Orta. So I would. Yeah, I'd sell him. I think it's going to its natural conclusion.
I think it was natural conclusion last year, to be honest. Shame didn't work out with Fiorentina, but yeah, I would love to sell him, get whatever you can get. You're not going to get a cancellation of his contract because it's going to cost you too much. So, and the money is good money. Large Ramazani.
Sell. Which is a shame because I really like the player. But I think that breakdown in relationship between him and Farke, which is quite clear that's happened, and once Farke's decided, rightly or wrongly, that you're not right for the team, then you'll never get back into the team.
Yeah, he did make up his mind.
Sadly.
Yeah, he did make up his mind and was made up. It seems to be made up. I think he represents a decent amount of transfer fee as well. We could bring in a few quid.
His back end of the season was excellent. Was very good. Very good as well.
Once he got past the injuries. Right, and they want them, so we'll see if they can afford him. We know what the money is like in Spain, though. Okay, assuming we haven't missed anybody at this stage, we'll move on to the strikers. Some easy calls here, some less than easy calls, and some that will be dictated by fitness. Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
You keep him. What a season, what a player, what a revelation. Just brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant. You've got an English striker that scored 16 goals in a 16 goals in a season is just, it's great. It's absolutely great. And I think he needed a change. I think he's fit right in at Ellen Road. I think he's fit right in with the squad. I think you see the level of respect that he commands in and around the squad as well, and the way that he talks to players, part of the leadership team. Yeah, that's an easy one for me. I absolutely love the guy.
Okay, same as I would keep him. No hassles at all. Love him. Lucas Metchett, 1 year left on his contract. No talk of a renewal at this point.
I'd offer him an extension of a year and keep him. I like Metro. I think what he's brought, I think he's been good. I think he plays like Bambi on ice, but he manages to keep hold of the ball, and I don't know how he does it at times, and he's got an absolute rocket of a shot on him as well. I think his off-the-ball work is very, very good as well. So I'd offer him a year's extension, and I'd keep him. I think he's a good player.
I think he's our most natural finisher in the penalty area. I think when he gets a half a chance, he usually scores in the penalty area. I don't think we always get him in positions where he can score.
No, true.
But I do like moments last year where he was fantastic for us. Moments where he wasn't, but then he cost you nothing, so you're balancing that out. He would be one of the players that would represent a profit if someone looked at him and went, he's decent. We'll have a crack at him, and Leeds like, we're going for nothing, like, so why not?
10 million quid, 10 million euros he's rated as on transfer market, so he represents a profit.
Yeah, and you got 5 to 7 for him as well, and he's still a decent age as well. I would keep him for another year at least.
Yeah,
on top of this year. Joel Piroux.
So
not going to play.
No, he's not. He's not going to play. He's not the type of player, in terms of the system that we play, he's not the type of player that is going to fit in that system. Unlucky with a couple of chances last season, the shot against Scum, which just went slightly over the bar when we all got very, very giddy, and a couple of other moments as well. But he's just not there for that. I don't think so.
I still would be interested in him as well. I would sell for the exact same reasons. Harry Gray, good loan in League One with Rotherham last year. Did get relegated, but got the experience being kicked around the place in the muck. Got a couple of goals, got a couple of assists, one in penalty.
Mm-hmm. Minimum 6-month loan to a championship squad.
I'd love my championship club next year.
Yeah, that I'd like him to go to. I think what we're doing with Gray is the right thing to do. I think because I think if we were in the championship, he'd be playing more.
Yeah,
we're not. We're a Premier League side, and for him to dislodge somebody, you're looking at him probably trying to dislodge Metcha, and that's not going to happen right now. He needs to develop a little bit more, but there is an absolute player in there.
Yeah, I think they're following the Harry Kane model from what they said about him as well. Looking at him go down, nail League One, go in, nail the Championship, then come in and nail the Premier League. Plenty of time to develop him the right way. As long as the club can match his ambition should be fine.
Yeah.
And the fact that the club are looking at bringing in another striker tells me that, no point hanging around, kid. Go get some mud in your boots again.
Yeah, and it's the other thing that's obvious as well is that Farke absolutely loves him. Absolutely loves him.
Yeah. But, he gets on very well with Eddie Gray and Ave probably in his ear. Joe Gilhart. Now, this is interesting because the news today is that Hull City have got a problem. So they overspent this year, despite the fact that they had an embargo. And if they don't get themselves PSR compliant by the 1st of July, they may have a massive fine or a points deduction or a transfer embargo continued into next season, which might scupper Joe Gilhart's chance of going there.
I find it hilariously funny because I had a couple of Hull people saying to me, "Oh, we're only going to give you 3 million for Gilhart."
3 to 5 is what I'm saying they want to pay.
Yeah, and by the way, our owner's about to spend 250 million on. It's just like that.
And he was fact checked on that to 180 because he was mixing euros and pounds up.
Yeah, so it's Hull. Gilhart. We need to sell him. I think he represents a decent turnover for us. I like the kid. I think he's a good player. I think he showed flashes of absolute brilliance, but I don't think he fits in for what we're trying to do at this moment in time.
I think there's a position there for him. I think that right-hand side position coming in is made for him, where we're looking at putting a Wilson or Aronson plays. He doesn't have the pressing stats of those type of players, but as a creative player, 21 GNA last season was a phenomenal season for him. But again, I think he falls into that bracket where Daniel Farke doesn't really see it or doesn't see where he fits in his style.
Agreed.
And therefore,
don't get me wrong. I'd love him
So do I.
Love him to be a success
Yeah.
at Leeds United, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
I mean, yeah, we're not saying if I was picking the team or the squad, this is my squad. We're saying what's the likelihood Leeds are going to do this about, because you got to base it on minutes in football. And I keep going back to Prague's comments because it tends to leave those comments there for a year. You know, spend every penny last year, do contracts in his sleep the year before. This year, it's players that weren't getting minutes will struggle for minutes next season again.
Agreed.
And he didn't get any minutes at Leeds last year. They already loaned him out, so I think that's why. And there's interest in him, so for me, he'll go and he'll get us some money in. Mateo Joseph, then. Now,
Well, it's. Sorry, I'm going to talk over you here. There is nothing that we can do about that. He is going to undergoing a repair season next season, recuperation.
Yep.
There's nothing we can do about it next season. His season's written off. He's got a horrible injury. We can't do anything about it.
For those who don't know, Joseph has done his ACL at the end of last season. So that's 12 months. Yeah, including recovery, maybe another few months to get back up to full speed. And he could like it quicker. The Leeds medical team, ironically, is probably exactly where he needs to be. He has made comments when he left Leeds that won't sit particularly well, I would imagine, with the people at the club. I think he did try and burn a bridge on his way out the door, thinking he wasn't going to have to come back and face it.
Yeah.
Which I said at the time, these are unusual comments for a player who's leaving, and it sounds like he's not coming back. And then fate intervenes. Yeah, I think you're looking at him at least until Christmas, depending on how the rehab goes, and then maybe see what happens then. He is a player I would have liked seen at Leeds and grow at Leeds, but he had his loan last year at a very poor Mallorca side that got relegated. He was played primarily as a right-sided attacker. When he was played through the middle, looked reasonably okay, but a lot still to learn. I wonder, does the ACL injury just regulate the attitude a little bit?
I would hope that it would.
I think he's very bad.
We've seen flashes of what his capabilities are. We saw it against Chelsea. There is a player in there, but it's his attitude that really.
Yeah, I get that he backs himself.
Yeah,
but sometimes
there's backing yourself, and then there's coming across as a complete twonk, isn't there? So it's.
I think he's badly advised.
Yeah, there is that side of stuff as well.
Okay, that's the bulk of the squad then. That's the ones. So we're not just leaving Marcus Rashford's coming in to replace him. We've agreed on all that stuff, yeah. Priorities for coming in, Paul, just in terms of positions. Like, what are we thinking? 4 or 5 players, or are we thinking more?
Yeah, my priority positions would be keeper, left-sided centre-back, left-back, number 10, right winger, left-footed right winger, and a striker.
6.
Yeah, that would be mine. So I wouldn't be too annoyed if we didn't get the keeper.
Yeah. You're looking at 2 for cover / competition, and the rest will start.
Correct. Correct. I don't think we're going to be churning the number of players that we churned last season. I think you've said it yourself. I think that we'll be spending more on quality.
Yeah.
This summer period than what we are, and I say it every year because we want to keep people excited and thing it in. I think that we might sign a surprise this window.
Been saying that for years.
One of these seasons, I'm going to be right.
It has to have.
Yeah. One of these seasons has to be right. But I think we might. I think there might be a surprise in the offing this summer thing. Not for any reason other than I'm ever the optimist and romanticist when it comes to football. So yeah,
I'd take a hidden gem.
Yeah.
Let's see how they get on. Folks, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you're listening on the audio platforms, give us the channel review if you don't mind, and a follow. And if you're watching on YouTube, the best way to support this channel is to subscribe for our daily Leeds news, as well as 2 podcasts a week, and our transfer talk video, which will continue over the course of the weekends until the match view returns for the start of the season. We got the fixtures out tomorrow. So for me, we're getting ready to go. Players are back in 2 weeks' time as well. 2 weeks' time. So exciting stuff ahead. Paul, thanks very much for joining me.
Pleasure, mate. Absolute pleasure.
See you soon, folks.
Bye.